Welcome to our whatever.
Our Boozy Planner-o-rama.
57th monthly. I don't know how many this is, but it's a lot, right? Probably 10, 8, 7. I don't know. Who knows? Welcome to the Boozy Planner-o-rama. Tonight,
hashtag stickers and liquor.
Hashtag stickers and liquor. Tonight, we will. You'd think I was already drinking. Tonight, we will be planning and drinking. Let's have a little. Oh, Carrow's ready. She's got the wine.
I'll toast first. That's the appropriate thing.
Ready?
Okay.
Here we go.
There we go.
Cheers.
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 We totally rehearsed that, by the way. I just want you all to know that.
We did. And that was the best one. So anyway, all right. I really do think that it sounds like we've been drinking already, but this was only like my second sip. I am drinking a pina colada tonight. That's very tropical.
Oh well, first off, I am very Gucci in my Coca-Cola cup. And I am a sophisticated lady and got the $5 bottle of wine.
Nice. Very, very nice. You know what? It all looks the same in a Coca-Cola cup. It could be the $5 bottle. It could be some Boozy Coke, whatever. All good.
And not to tell Barefoot anything, but I am totally willing to have a sponsor to talk about this product because it's my favorite one.
I think they do a really nice job. That's like a really great little dinner wine. You know what I mean? Like it's just a real, right? Like just something casual on the grill. Yeah, love it. All right. Hello, everybody. Look, we have some friends here. Nobody in particular says first. Hello, Amy. Very nice to see you.
Awesome body. You need to change that name, ma'am.
Awesome buddy.
Amy, you got the name
buddy.
here.
Yeah. That's true. We should probably I just randomly go into the comments. We should introduce ourselves, I think. Let's start with Amy Awesome Buddy. Who are you?
I am an avatar in the void.
Do you have a website?
If you don't know, you don't need to know. What's that? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Website. Do you have a website?
Liquid sloshing in my ears. What?
Website.
Huh?
I will send you another card that says website on it. And that's
Carrow.
it.
Oh, Carrow has officially managed to. I'm an SEO consultant, by the way, who happens to be friends with people on the screen. If you don't know who I am, then probably for the better. Carrow has been harassing me to get a website for, a little over 2 years-ish now. And she finally crossed over into actual written mail. She sent me like a little postcard thing. And the last thing that she said was website. Not even with like a period or an exclamation, nothing after it. Literally the last thing was website, love, Carrow.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh my God.
It takes a really good friend to harass the crap out of you about your digital footprint.
Yeah.
I've made plans for the next step. I'm going to rent out a plane with like that banner and I'm going to fly it over her house.
That's nice. That's very nice. I think that's a good plan.
Okay, well, plot twist. I won't be able to see it through the trees.
Oh.
So.
Don't challenge me. I will find a way.
Well, speaking of friends who would rent a plane to nag you, it's Carrow Brown.
Hello.
Yay.
I am Carrow Brown and I troll my friends because it's good for them. I came here to write and be productive. I wrote those books over there, by the way, if anybody cares. Yeah. And this is actually your idea, isn't it, Lisa? The Boozy Planner-o-rama? I think it was like, you know what? No, that's what I was going to tell you. It's a year. We've been doing this for a year.
What?
Yeah. Because it was this time last year where you were like, I want to get drunk and plan things. And I was like, that sounds fantastic. Like, we should have done that before.
We should, right? I know. I think, like, the combination of the booze and the planning, that's what makes it magical.
It's the hashtag stickers and liquor.
It's hashtag stickers and liquor. That's right. So, hello, everybody. I'm Lisa Daly. This is my channel, and I write romantic comedies and nonfiction books. So, let's say hello to our friends who are in the chat today. You know what? I just want to tell you guys, we're trying something new because StreamYard now says, like, hey, you can now do a live stream on Twitter. So guess what we're doing tonight, guys?
Oh, wow.
YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. We're all going crazy here. Okay.
Oh, my goodness.
Athena's here. Yay! we have missed you also. I'm so glad to see you tonight. Very, very glad. I think we're going to have an awesome time. I'm very excited about this Boozy Planner-o-rama because October marks Q4. And so for me, this is the time when I like to panic and think, oh my gosh, I'm not going to make my yearly goals. I better hurry up. So this is special. It's a special time for me when I
I'm
really, and
glad
I
I was muted because I literally just like exploded with laughter. Just
that's
to hear
exactly it.
somebody else say that, I thought it was just me.
Oh no, it's well, maybe it's not everybody, but it's a lot of people.
Actually, yeah, no, that's a thing. That's totally a thing because when they, it's actually in Atomic Habits where they talk, Atomic Habits in 12-week year where they talk about people are like really bad about getting stuff done until like the last 3 months of the year. And they're like, oh my God, I've had all year and now I'm doing it now, which is why 12-week year came out because they're like, well, if you can get everything done in 3 months, then why don't you always just try and get stuff done in 3 months?
Right.
So, yeah.
I love that concept. So I this is like a heart breathing thing. I mean, it's a variety of different places, but that's something that she talks about a lot. And I've watched her like videos. I've watched numerous videos. I do always enjoy the ones where she's like putting her washi tape and pretty pens together. But like, I think I missed the whole thing about how she does like her planning periods are 12 weeks with a week of planning. So like 13 times 4 throughout the year. And I thought like, well, that's genius because I'm always just splitting them up. I think that's great. Just to take those few extra little, day here, a couple days there at the end of the month and like really get the most out of that week. All right. Hello, RC. We're very glad to see you here. Tamara's here. Hello. We're so glad to see you. Oh, Spence is here. Hi, Spence.
That's the COVID. Still my favorite avatar. This will never change. Don't ever change it for me, please.
Love it. Alexa's here. Hey, Alexa. We're very glad to see you today or tonight. What's everybody drinking today? And what kind of planner will you be using? Let us know in the chat. Here we go. Athena. Who are we licking? Wait, what?
I think when we said stickers and liquor, it came off as a lick.
No, that's just wrong. Okay. Hello, darling. We're very glad to see you. Oh my gosh, I totally lost this. Okay, so Tamara says cheers. Everybody says hello, Shannon. We're very glad to see you. Rosalind's here. I don't know if this means Sliante. Sounds fancy and like something you should drink too. Love it. All right. Carrow is going to be feeling it later, says Stacy. Hello.
Probably.
We're glad to hear it. All right. So Spence is going to be doing some D&D prep. What else is everybody? I mean, I'm like, Q4. What are you guys all going to be planning tonight? What are you going to be working on?
I will tell you when you get through the comments because that seems fair.
Okay. Yes. Okay. I know who you am, and yes, you need a website. Yes,
Amy, website.
Yes. Are you guys talking about planning Preptober or something, or you just wanted all to do it together, slightly plastered? Yes. Yeah. All of the above. Yeah. Exactly. There you go. Very nice.
I saw you, friend. That's my friend Keta.
Oh, hi, Keta. Very good to see you. It is amazing that it's October, and yes, I could not agree more. What the
This year can end. This year could have ended like 4 months ago.
It can't because I have not finished my goals. It can end as soon as
that sounds like a personal problem.
I know it does. As soon as I'm almost done. Okay, so Spence is going to work on her 5-year plan. Very nice. Ooh, Athena says she just had her HB90 course. It was pretty good. I can imagine that it is. I know. I think Carrow was the first person to mention this to me, this course, which sounds awesome. And
somebody else did. I explained to you what it was. That's what I remember.
Okay, fantastic. So she's added extra prep week for 2022 this quarter, which I think is great.
Nice.
I think I saw something about that. That is completely awesome. As long as we're talking about her, you guys, I was telling Carol before we came on that, I think some of you who come to our come to the regular live stream on Wednesdays where we just do regular writing sprints, knew that I was going to the Novelist Inc. conference, and I was really excited because I had not been to a conference in a couple of years, and I was just very excited to get out of the house. And Sarah Cannon, who is Heart Breathings herself. She was there. She gave an awesome talk. I had a chance to chit chat with her a little bit, and she is just delightful. All right. So Athena says, not planning, coloring mice for cards. Ooh, that sounds cool.
Hey, we like therapy here.
Well, right. Tamara is writing. I'm writing on my planner and getting ready to send stuff out to betas.
Hell yeah.
I think I'm on the beta list. I put my name
Nice.
on there. I don't know if I've been chosen or not, but I'm very excited. So, all right. I've been waiting for that book for a while. So I'm very excited to read it. All right. Stacy says, yes, it is Preptober. Let's talk about that. Who is going to be, everybody raise your hands in the chat. Who is going to be doing NaNoWriMo this year? And is that
not me.
No?
Yeah. No, because I gotta finish Blood in the Rain, and then I gotta finish Carrow's Tarot, so I don't have time to start a new project. So
I think that I'm going to finish the nonfiction project that I'm working on right now by the end of this week. I thought I was going to finish it last week, but my daughter was ill and I ended up not getting much work done. But I'm pretty sure I'm going to get it done this week. And so I think that I will probably be able to start a new project for Nano, but I will not be doing a fiction project. I'm going to do a nonfiction project. Walter! Hello, Walter. He says, what's up, ladies? I'm prepping my self-help book. I am so happy to hear that, Walter.
Hell yeah.
Nice. Very nice. CEO Savvy's here. Hello. Just going to watch folks get plastered while planning. Tired out after a birthday weekend. Blast for your mom. Oh, that's sweet. Happy birthday, Mom. We love you, CEO Savvy.
Yeah.
All right. Athena's going to be a rebel this year. She says, I need Carrow's Tarot. Really excited for it.
I am really close to finishing it. Like so last month when we met, I said I'd make the to-do list of what I needed to work on, and I did do that. So that got done. And there's I think there's 5 cards I just need to go and flesh out. And then my goal, so I'm not going to tell you my goal, but that's definitely one of my goals, to actually send it out. So.
All right. I'm excited about that. I want to be on that beta list too. All right. So Shannon is planning out my Preptober week in a Commit 30 planner. We'll also work on planning the rest of the month. I'm not familiar with that. Anybody, Carol, do you know anything about that, Amy?
No.
Shannon, please give us some details. What is a Commit 30 planner? I don't know what it is, but it sounds exciting to me. Because all planners do. I really just love them. But I really want to know what this is. I imagine Commit 30 like you're, I don't know. I'm kind of excited. Let's hear about it. Okay. Alexa says, I'll be out of the country for the first week and a half of November, so not likely for her to do Nano. Spence is doing Nano. She's theoretically going to be drafting something every month this month for the rest of the year. 2 of them are second drafts, only 1 first draft.
Oh, nice.
You go. That's awesome. All right. Stacy will be a Nano rebel and actually have started Nano on Friday. Oh, Stacy. We won't tell. All right. Rebelling this year because, of course, I started on October 1st. You're apparently not the only one. We've got like a house of rebels tonight. Okay. So Tamara's going to work on an assortment of projects as usual. All right, I don't know how to say it. Is it Alice? Alice McKinney? Tell us how to say your name phonetically. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm having to
phonetically. Yeah, because I don't know if you guys know this, but I used to be a teacher, which means that for some reason, when I finished getting my degree, it meant I couldn't pronounce names anymore. So I definitely need that help.
That happens. Yes, I'm having.
I think it's Ilis.
Is it Ilis? Ooh,
I think so.
I love that name.
I know Aisling is AIS like that. So
I like it. All right, I'm dying to know. JC, wait a minute. JC is here. Hello. We're so glad to see you today. Everybody's happy. Look at this. Oh, CO Savvy, I hurt you so much. Tamara, is one of those projects a robot erotica? Oh my God.
No, that's me. That's me. I'm the one writing the troll story, not her.
The roboerotica.
Hashtag sparks flying.
That was, but I think it was, wasn't it on Tamara's stream that we first started talking about the roboerotica?
No, so that was my birthday stream, and I had been drinking on there too, and for some reason Oh, I remember. Okay, so like, wow, I remember things I don't know why I remember. So what happened is everybody asked if I was going to write under a pen name, which is when I was like, this is my pen name. Like, no, I don't know anybody called Carrow Brown.
No.
And then I talked about why I picked that name, which was because in a teacher briefing, they came to us and said, like, you have to write under a pen name because there was a teacher who wrote under her actual name, and she wrote Robot Erotica. And of course, like, I was sitting there in this auditorium of teachers and educators, and I was kind of like, I have questions. First off, is this a good book? What is the name of this book and where can I find it?
And then it went off the rails from there, as I recall.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Oh, it was great. It was great. And then I said I was going to do it. And then Tamara was like, no, don't do it. That's the worst. And I was like, well, now you've told me not to, and I love you and I'm a troll, so I have to.
All right. Shannon is doing Nano this year.
Well done.
Very good. Oh, good. Wait, we said it like twice. What did you think it was, Amy? Eyeless?
Eyeless.
So I have an aunt I have a great aunt, had a great aunt named Isla. And I've always loved that name. And Eyeless is so close to that, but more cool and contemporary. I really love it. It's a beautiful name. Okay. All right. So you have to tell us.
Was it Eyeless or A-less?
Eyeless or A-less? I bet it's Eyeless. Okay. Stacy is writing a family history, needs to plan in extra days to add research or reassess where it is going.
Mm-hmm.
The worst, she says. Okay. Shannon says, commit 30 is a goal planner. Commit to a goal. Work on it for 30 days at a time. It helps you break it down into actionable steps.
Oh, hell yeah.
That is awesome. That's actually what I'm going to be doing tonight. Actionable steps for all of my big goals that I have remaining for 2021. In particular, everything that I want to get accomplished in Q4 this year. So yay, that's what I will be doing. And I will be using my lovely Erin Condren planner that I love. This is the first one that I've gotten. It's cool. It's been perfect for me. And I am going, look.
Is that the one that you get reprinted every year?
No, that one is a different one. No, this one has actual numbers on it. No, my other one is like this big, like the Exciting Life of Lisa Daly one. So I still use that, but I only use this for publishing, and that's what I'm working on tonight. Publishing goals.
Oh, yes. I remember when Carrow convinced you needed a publishing only notebook.
Yes, she did, right? She's like, if it's important, you need a planner for it. And I was like, yes, that sounds correct. So
I'm so proud of you. Well done.
Thank you very much. I love it. The only thing is, like, sometimes I'm like, oh, wait, how do I know what appointments I have? Because only publishing can go in the publishing notebook. Yeah.
I have started on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 notebook system. And it all works because it's all tool notebooks that are like directly to the left of my computer screen. Like the left side of my big ass computer actually is what holds up half of the stack. So it's all right here accessible at my hand. But I call it the one planner to rule them all. And that's the one where I actually write down dates and meetings and all that stuff. And then everything else has its own function.
Has its own little planner.
All right. I have one planner. And then everything else is like, what would you even call that? It's like almost like project notebooks, but there's like one for my health, one for my clients, one for my business.
That makes sense.
That kind of thing.
That makes perfect sense. All right, that's good. Okay, so Carrow.
Yes, ma'am.
What are you planning?
That's a fantastic question. So I am planning as I pull up. So unlike you wonderful people that have typical stationery, I had to ditch it. I had to completely ditch it because things changed. So I have a physical location I do work at, and then I have an artist up in Canada that I do work with, where I help him basically organize stuff. And then there's another influencer that I do work with, and then there's somebody else who I think I'm picking up. We're still in negotiation stages, but and at first I had a separate notebook for all of them, and then I kind of look like this weird person that walked everywhere with like fucking binders.
That's why I had to go to one big ass client notebook.
Yeah.
I couldn't manage the stack.
Yeah. So, and then that's not even taking into account like my author stuff and my personal things and things like that. So I had to switch to a digital one, so now it's on my phone. And the only time I hate my life is when I don't have access to Wi-Fi.
Oh, that's terrible. That's
I
right.
was going to say, if I remember correctly, back in the day, what made you try out that notebook system was when you were having that internet problem. And it went on for like 3 weeks, and you were like, I can't take it. So you went out and bought a whole bunch of notebooks.
Girl, it wasn't 3 weeks. It was 3 months.
Oh, wow.
Like I would be in a stream with you guys, and all of a sudden, like I would phase out, and then I would just like, and then when I would come back, I would just be sitting here like this the entire time.
I remember the gremlins; they were plentiful.
Yeah, but I did switch to a digital system. So, but the quarter goals I have for myself, not involving my clients and everything else, actually focuses. So I've got my quarantine with story that I am absolutely dead set on publishing. But in order to publish it, I have to get access back to my Kindle account. So I have to talk to those people to get it back. Yeah, and so once I do that, I'm going to push that because I have to publish something.
Yes.
One thing this year.
Yes.
So I have that broken down. I'm going to finish doing the draft for Carrow's Tarot so I can send that out to betas at some point between now and December. And then the one book that I'm working on right now called Blood in the Rain, it's like 90% done. I meant to finish it this week, but what happened, unfortunately, that stopped me is my carpal tunnel like went through the roof. So sitting in front of the keyboard like literally caused chronic pain all the way up to my shoulder. So I was like, I have to take a break.
Yeah. Oh no.
Yeah.
All right. I want to take some comments. So Morgan uses plum paper for teacher stuff. All right, that's pretty cool. Tamara has a publishing planner, and it's at my mom's. It's doing me a lot of good there. Tia Savvy wants to know what's plum paper. Asking for a friend.
Is that me? Because I totally had that question too.
Tool is an amazing brand. I love the disc system. I know that is so popular. You really like the disc system, right, Carrow?
Yeah, so I do use Tool. Actually, the person that you really want to talk to is right here for Tool. Yeah. But I use it for things that I don't have to open and fiddle with too much, so like my D&D stuff. If I need a physical series Bible, stuff like that. Don't mind me. I don't have a problem. This bottle's just empty.
Right.
Actually, speaking of Tool, I do have a comment, something that I was going to bring up at some point in the stream today, so I'll go ahead and say it.
That's good.
I love the Tool notebook, but there's Tool, that's Office Depot's, there's ARC, that's Staples, there's Levenger, I'm not sure who that is, and then there's the Happy Planner that I'm under the impression that's the one that kicked it all off. Well, Sky turned me on to the Tool notebooks, and I've been in the market for a hole puncher pretty much since Sky moved away and I wasn't able to bum her hole puncher anymore. So I've been watching the prices, and one day I was realizing that in my client notebook, the Tool pages, it's 11 rings. So it's just a tiny little piece of paper that's basically on each side of the ring. Well, I have a couple of things like sticker sheets and stuff like that I do move around on a regular basis, and they're having a hard time staying in because that little piece of paper does wear down and just get loose, and it just, makes it easier for stuff to snag. So I made a discovery completely by accident because one of my planners is a Happy Planner. It's the Happy Planner Everyday 365 or whatever. It's the one that has 11 rings. Not all the Happy Planners have 11 rings, but I think their Everyday series does.
Cool.
And the hole punch depth is like twice the length as the Tool. And so the papers in the Happy Planner, they don't wear out, get tired, get loose, and start falling out. So if anybody is considering the hole punch system, I have not confirmed this, but on my 3 different Happy Planner products, all 3 of them, the punch distance is twice as much. So I'm going to buy a Happy Planner hole puncher, not a Tool, even though all of my notebooks are Tool, because, if Carrow made a really good point, if it's something that you're going to be taking the pages out of regularly, you're going to wear out your little holes.
Right.
And so it's really great if it's something that gets to stay, like character sheets and all that stuff for D&D.
Yeah.
But
Definitely.
I think I'm officially making the recommendation that when it comes time to buy your 11 punch for your tool disc system, get the Happy Planner hole puncher because they have deeper rings.
Cool.
There
That's
you go.
that's very good advice. Very,
I felt
very
like such
nice.
a badass. I was like, I've got something worthwhile to contribute.
You always do.
You
Don't
do.
you dare down sell yourself. I will sit here and praise you for how long do we have? An hour and a half.
That's
I
right.
will do it.
That's right. Carrow, JC wants you to be filming all this for a blog in the future. Carrow, I can tell right now that when we all heard Carrow going clickety clack earlier, she was already looking it up on this comment.
I was.
Yeah, knew it. All right. And Morgan says completely customizable, high quality planner out of San Diego. I stroke the paper all the time.
You know
Baby,
what? Same,
you are my kind of
same.
people. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
When I used to go to the writing group, when I lived back in Arizona, we would have some very well-meaning writers that would come over, and they would get their paper from Staples, and so they would come over and sit with us. And I swear to God, like all of us were like too busy like touching the paper. And like at one point when we came to give feedback, I was like, first off, the writing's very good. Second off, we are not worthy of this quality of paper. Like this grain is fantastic.
It's 32-pound paper is what's in the tool notebooks.
I love that.
Oh yeah. Sky turned me on to the 24-pound paper, and I will never go back. Like I gave away my 20-pound paper. I was like, here you go.
I'm such a planner. Like I'm such a paper snob. All right. So Jeannie Marcella says I messed up the time. I thought it started at 6. Well, I'm glad you make it. She did. Alexa and Amy obviously recommend that Happy Planner Punch. Jeannie says thank you, and it comes in pink, red, and teal.
Yes.
Compliment.
I think I'm gonna go for that pink color.
Compliment bonded.
See, Spence gets me. Spence gets me. I appreciate you. Thank you for seeing me.
Exactly. So last time we did the Boozy Planner-o-rama, I think we did something really nice. That was Carrow's idea, which is that we took like a 10-minute planner break, like where we're talking and we're chit-chatting. And but then we put up a timer so we could actually get some work done. Otherwise, it's just me and Carrow and Amy chit-chatting and drinking, which we're happy to do. But let's go ahead and take a 10-minute plan. Get your stuff if you don't already have it. And we have some questions. Carrow came up with some good questions for us to talk about when we come back. So
every time you say my name, I get really panicked. Like, what did I do now?
Nothing. You're just awesome. We love you. All right. So Jeannie says, love the planner breaks and the chats. Us too, right? This is like one of my favorite things. Okay. So hold on. Oh my gosh.
And then I want to hold on. I gotta scroll up real quick because Athena, I did see your question. When we get done, I'm happy to answer it for you.
Did I miss one?
Yeah, but it's fine because you know what? It's honestly best that you did because I would probably talk about it for a full 30 minutes.
All right, we'll talk about Athena's question when we come back from the break. Here we go. We're gonna do 10 minutes of planning, and we'll be back to chit chat after that. So, all right, here we go. I love that so much. I'm talking and I don't have any voice on.
I heard you.
All right. Since somebody started new, he's lost 70 pounds, according to the ad at the end of that timer. So that's good. I'm very excited for him. That's super awesome. Okay, good. All right. Okay, so guess who showed up while we were gone? Morgan's
showed up?
here. Hello. Hey, Morgan.
Hello,
And
Morgan.
Nikki's here. Hello, Nikki. We're super glad to see you. All right. Very good. So I'm just making my little tasks list, and because I did my goals earlier today, I spent like a good chunk of my day on that. So I want to talk about what we were talking about earlier. But Carrow, you had a question. You said it was from Athena, right?
Yeah, Athena asked me a question. I just didn't want her to feel like I didn't see it.
Oh, what do you use online, Carrow? That's a good question. So what do you use for your online scheduling, Carrow?
I'm so glad that you asked, because it's like I'm almost about to screen share you.
Well, that's so lucky.
I know, right? Hold on, let me find this. I'm gonna close this and that. So I'm gonna share screen. Yeah, I want to share my screen. I like how it's always like, are you sure that you want to share your screen? Are you sure?
Be
All right, there you go.
All right, ready? What do you use online? Here we go. Oh, good. There we go.
Yeah, so there's two things that I use online. This amount of craziness that you see is Google Calendar. And I'm actually going to talk about this in Tamara's, Project Author 2 video series that she's got coming up. This is just like a little teaser for you guys if you're interested in it. But presently what I do is there are two things that I do to keep my life in order, because one thing that I was kind of told that I really take to heart is that our brains are really good for coming up with ideas, but we suck at remembering them, right? Mm-hmm. So what I've been trying to do is all the stuff that I typically try to remember, I just kind of put here on this Google Calendar. So like the weeklies, the dailies, things like that. But the other thing that I've been using to try and keep my life in order is actually this program that's called Notion. And you can ask Amy. I had a lot to say about this program and how much I liked it and everything else. But this is pretty much like the big crazy thing that I use to keep everything in order. And again, the big reason I ended up switching over to this is because with everything that I have going on and that I have to track between myself, work, and just anything else, like this has really been like my go-to thing. And the big reason that I switched over to it is because I am broke and I am an author, which means I personally don't make a lot of money. And this program right here that you see on the screen, it's free $50 right now.
Awesome.
Yeah. And I'm not going to, wait, hold on. No. Okay. So this is one of my favorite notebooks, right? I absolutely love this notebook. It costs $30.
Am I making you big? Hold on.
No, I mean, like, it's just an example. Like, this is a notebook I really like. I think it's great, but it cost me $30, right? When you have to be frugal, like every penny counts.
Right, that's true. That's definitely true.
Yeah.
All right, hold on.
But thank you for letting me share my screen. Anyway,
You're welcome.
So to answer your question, I use Notion. I use Google Calendar.
Very nice.
And Notion, she left off a couple really kick-ass things about Notion. Notion comes with a whole bunch of templates. There's one for recipes, and she showed me how you can list the ingredients and then check off the ingredients you don't have, and it will compile those ingredients into a shopping list for you. It also has Rolodex templates. So if you're someone who, actually needs to keep all of your contacts for a project together, it has a Rolodex function. Like, you should check it out because she showed me, like, the only thing that stopped me from going and signing up for it immediately that moment was that my eyes have been bothering me so bad this past year since I upgraded to this extra big computer screen. Mm-hmm. And I have to not use the computer when I can not use the computer. I have light sensitive eyes. And speaking of which, I have another thing. Let me get the link for you. But I actually broke down and bought some blue light glasses.
I was just going to suggest that for you when you were talking about how that you were hurting your eyes with the computer screen.
Yes, I bought them 4 pairs for $10 on Amazon. I've used them. I can confirm they do work for blue light. So I'm going to get you guys a link. They're non-prescription. I don't need glasses, so they're non-prescription. 4 pairs for $10. Let me get the link because
That's
I'm
great.
telling everybody.
That's awesome.
I had computer glasses. I had them, and okay, so like this is just a me to you thing. Well, okay, I'm saying on the internet, so it's a me to anybody who comes here kind of thing. But I had my computer glasses at my physical job location. They went missing after my boss's grandkid came into the room.
Oh no.
Yeah. So, I'll never see those again.
You know exactly when they went missing.
You need big rhinestones on yours, like I have on mine, and then they send a bat signal if somebody steals them. It's very handy.
Wait, is this a link to your glasses, Amy?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yes. Okay. All right.
I'm buying these right now.
Carrow came up with some really good questions earlier about planning, goals, unachievable goals, tasks, etc. So I think we're going to throw up some of these questions and let's see what you guys have to say. What kind of goal setting works for you? Okay, for me, it's the kind that has like a whip or a piece of cake. Like, right? Like, I need the negative reinforcement and some positive reinforcement. Usually the cake works by itself, but sometimes you need both. Those are not on the same end of the spectrum, just FYI. The whips over here, cakes over here. Okay, so yeah, what kind of goal setting works for you? Let's hear what you guys have to say. So this is question 1. So when you answer, if you answer, write A1. Let's take some comments because they're piling up. Here we go. Lots of hello. Okay, so Jeannie says so Notion might be good for a series Bible or Canvas.
Yeah. I actually have a template just for the Blood in the Rain, the book that I'm working on. That's literally my series Bible. So
that's awesome.
The only thing that the big downside that I'm going to say about Notion is it's not really a really good. It's not a great note taking app. And that's the kind of thing I can say. What I do is I actually write everything in a Google Doc and I just link it on there. So
that's a good way to handle it.
Yeah.
Jennifer says she cleaned out and reorganized my room at the nursing home. I found 4 completely unused notebooks. That is a win. That is a big win. Lexa says blue lights take an adjustment. That drove me nuts when I got mine 2 years ago. What happens when what's the adjustment period?
I didn't have much of an adjustment period at all. The instant I put them on, I swear I could feel it. Like,
really?
Yeah. And I read at night sometimes. And when I do, like, for the longest time, I thought I wasn't that bothered by the blue lights. And then I started to realize this big ass computer screen, it's definitely bothering me. So the other devices have to be bothering me too. I noticed it with the computer and then my other devices, even though I'm sure it actually happened in the other order. But it was instant for me. Like, as soon as I put them on, like the very next day, I was like, I feel so much better. My eyes aren't tired. And I've been wearing them at night. I've got 4 pairs. So I've got, one by both office areas and one by the bed and one spare one. And
I know about having lots of glasses. Here we go. That's just right. That's within arm's reach here. I could find another 27 pairs if I just wandered around my house for 5 minutes.
I'm still getting used to it. I've only ever had sunglasses, and I'm not even sure what it is. I'm pretty sure an eye doctor would have a diagnosis for it, but I do have light sensitive eyes. Like, if I go out in the city where it's like hazy and it's super bright, fries my eyes just as bad as the blue light on the screen. And so I have the big ass man glasses that go like literally all the way back to my hairline on my temples, so that like no light's getting in.
What makes them?
So besides sunglasses, I've never had any reading glasses or anything like that. So
just
taking a little bit of adjustment getting used to it.
Yeah, just wait. So I had gone to drinks with my friend Lisa McLeod and Kate Snow, who used to be on Good Morning America, right? Yeah. Anyway, so Kate Snow, Lisa McLeod, and I having drinks at a bar in New York City, and they were both like 5 years older than me, and they were talking about how they need reading glasses all the time. They have them all over the house, and I was like, "Oh, I don't need those glasses." And I'm like, "My vision's still really good." And they're like, "How old are you?" And I'm like, and so I tell them, and they go, "Oh, wait until next year." And so then, like, swear to God, like a year later, like 11 months and 29 days later, I'm in the bathtub reading, and I'm like, God, my arm is killing me. And then I realized because I'm holding my book way out. So yeah, so now I have reading glasses all over. And this is, I think, something that's sort of like, if you're a writer, you're staring at the computer all the time, you're bound to go blind. Okay, so what kind of goal setting works for you? Spence says, I'll let you know when I figure it out.
Ain't that the cold, hard truth?
Judy Marcella says cakes and whips.
Okay, I'm not going to lie. You need to make that a book. That is a great book title.
Thank you. Cakes and whips.
Oh my God, it's a rom-com about, let's see, cakes and whips. So it'd be a rom-com about somebody going through some kind of transition period in their life. They need to get their planning together. They need their self-help book guru, which is Lisa's specialty.
Sorry.
This is amazing. I'm thoroughly enjoying this. Thank you.
Cakes and whips. So Alexa says HB 90, but I can't do good, better, best word count goals. I need a specific number to aim for. So for you guys who are not familiar, I bet most of you are, but for most of you who are not familiar, she does, like she says, okay, I'm going to increase my word count, or I'm going to increase my followers on, or subscribers on YouTube. She has like a good goal, a better goal, a best goal. So like, here's the stretch, here's the one she thinks is achievable, and the middle is kind of the middle. So yeah, I'm the same way. Like, I really have to have a solid word count goal. And I used to write really consistently 3,000 words a day.
Mm-hmm.
And then I really struggled to even make that. And I mean, like, just through the pandemic, like, I've just had a really rough time. And so I have, I'm working on a nonfiction project, which is going really well. But one of my goals for the year is to get my writing speed back up, and specifically up to 5,000 words a day by the end of the year. And so every week I have like my word count for the day boost up just a little bit so I can hit those numbers. And so far, so good. But yeah, I agree with you, Alexa. I could not do like a 2,400, 2,600, 2,800, because then you're like, oh, I got 2,400. I hit the goal. Like, I need a really solid number.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Rosalind says, I have to set very tentative goals. I use my writer's notebook. Bad health times I write in pencil to take the pressure off myself. That is a very good idea.
Yeah, because when you write in pencil, it's not a full commitment, right?
Right. That's right. Well, and if you're dealing with health issues or mental health issues or health and mental health issues, then you can, give yourself the space that you need to, take care of yourself and work at the same time.
I relate to this. I really do, because part of the reason I was happy to switch over to a digital system is like today I had given myself like the time block to go and script out the video that I have for Project Author 2, but I had so many other things that came up, and then I had to go see my family. Okay, let me rephrase that. I didn't have to see my family. I wanted to see my family.
Of course.
Right. And so what I really liked is that I could just take that thing about script video and I just moved it over to the next day. And I think part of the reason why I switched from a physical system into a digital system is because I really wanted that ease, because the less friction I have to do one thing to the other, it makes it easier for me to do. So, which actually translated from what I just said into common speak means I'm fucking lazy.
Oh, that's not true.
I'm lazy. I don't want to spend all that time erasing and rewriting. I want to do something else.
You're just you're busy and you're adaptable. So there's that. All right. So Nicole
says, hear that? She's trying to make me sound not lazy. I appreciate you accommodating me.
You are not lazy. Nicole says small goals at a time or little section goals at a time, so I don't feel overwhelmed.
Oh, chunking. Yeah, I totally agree with chunking.
Yeah, I think that, in fact, I think that is one of the best ways to get, especially big goals, to get them accomplished, is because if you look at a big thing. One, you tend to if you're me, or underestimate is what I do, how much time it's going to take to finish the thing. But if you break it down into little pieces, one, you can just do one of those little pieces every day or in a week or whatever. And then by the time, a month or 2 months has gone by, you've actually made really good progress or achieved that goal. I am spending this, look, I got all my little note cards. I will be chunking away. That sounds a little bit like dirty and or something. So I'm going to just move on to the next question. All right. Rosalind says, I have blue light filters in my entire wardrobe of reading glasses and on all my devices. You are a genius. I think I need that. Alexa says there was a purple yellow aura, I guess, at the edges of my vision. I had to work up to a full day of wear. Isn't that interesting?
The yellow tint is definitely noticeable because when it blocks out the blue light, the yellow light is stronger. But I only notice it when I'm looking at blue things. Like if I'm just looking at the computer screen, I don't notice it. But like I have a tapestry on my wall and it's like this galaxy print. So it's lots of dark blues and purple swirls. I totally see the yellow tint when I look at that. And so, yeah, I know what you're talking about. I don't know I haven't seen any purple, but the yellow, yeah, that's what it is. It blocks the blue. That's actually how, when I was figuring out which ones of these I should try, somebody in one of the pictures in the comments took a picture. It was actually for another product that I almost bought. And they were like, look, they don't work. Here's expensive blue lights. And here's these pair that we bought. And they held them up to their computer screen. And you could see the yellow tint through the expensive one. So when I bought these and I saw the yellow tint, I was like, fuck yeah, I got the right one.
You're like, I'm good. I'm good. Yeah. Alexa says maybe hers were prescription. She has an astigmatism, so that might have been a factor too.
Yeah, same.
Athena has gone from coloring mice to coloring bears. Very nice. Adega Outlaw, hello. We are very glad to see you. Nicole says, did I answer that question right? Yes, of course. Yes. First of all, there are no wrong answers. We're just sharing stuff. But
yeah, it's whatever works for you.
Yeah, but that's perfect. All right. Tamara says, I'm trying to figure that out. My best way to plan my goals. One thing I'm not doing anymore is announcing all of my goals publicly. I have mixed feelings. I have mixed feelings, not about you. You're obviously welcome to announce or not announce. I find, on one hand, accountability is a good thing. On the other hand, this has been a terrible freaking year, and the last thing we all need to do is go around.
It's not just 1 year; it's 2 years.
2 years, right? Year and a half. I keep trying to pretend, but we are really almost at the end of
It's December 342.
Yeah, exactly. So there is something about it. So I think, like, okay, when the world gets a little bit more back to normal, then perhaps announcing goals, it will be a good thing again. Like for now, we just have to be general. I changed a bunch of, like, I had some goals for the year that I was reviewing today, and I thought, I'd put one project aside because I kind of banged my head against the wall for like 8 months, and then I just thought, this project's not working. I'm not sure why it's not working, but I'm going to move on to something that is working, and that like opened a bunch of other stuff up for me. So I'm very glad I did that. Mary says, one at a time. I usually write down a ton of them. If I try to focus on more than one, ADHD brain kicks in. Oh, goodness gracious. Hold on. So I understand that. Carrow, what is your series Bible template? Nicole wants to know.
Oh, that's a fantastic question. I actually had that ready to show you. Oh man, this is gonna be, okay, no, I can share it because at first I was like, no, it's got my cover, but it doesn't have my cover.
Okay, hold on. All right.
So share screen. Yes, I would like to share my screen. Yes, I would like to. I appreciate the consent that's involved in this program. It's like, are you sure that you want to do this? And I'm like, yes, I do.
All right. Series Bible.
So my series Bible kind of looks sparse on the screen, but basically what it encompasses is that I've got, and you can actually find this. This isn't my template. I did not make it. Somebody else did, and I just fiddled with it a little bit. But a couple of the things that I do on here is that I've got all my scenes written out in this, and I'll show you guys in a little bit. I've got my scenes written out, I've got my characters written out, I've got my world written out. But interestingly enough, while I am like a planner when it comes to like major story beats and making sure that I hit those, when it comes to the actual world and the characters, I'm a total pantser, because like I'll throw a character into a situation and see how they react, and that's how I flesh them out, because that's just how I am. But much like this wonderful book that we actually reviewed on Tamara Woods' Writer's Workshop, which is 2K to 10K, right? One of the things that I have right here is that I do track where I work, when I worked, how I felt when I worked, and my reward, right? So, and that's really more for me.
Mine would be cake with cake.
For the reward, yeah. So I've got like different rewards on here, like truffles, journals, EMT binders, like shit like that. But the one thing that I found that was really good for me is that I would have these scene cards, right? And this makes me super happy as both a plotter and somebody that likes to have flexibility, because again, I can just take this card and move it right over, right? If I have to. Great. Yeah, so it's not too different from Scrivener. You literally everything that I'm doing in this program, you can do in Scrivener. So if you already have it, if you already have Scrivener, stay with Scrivener. I mean, I know that this program is free 50, but the reason I would tell you to stay with what you already have is because we have like this bad habit of trying to be productive while we're being redundant, and I'm just as guilty of this. So if you already have everything set up, don't leave it. Like, just advice from me to you. Yeah.
Make it go.
Yeah. So my series Bible looks, and this isn't even a full series that you're looking at. This is just one book. I have a novel binder, whatever you want to call that. But I do track the characters. I track places. Places are really important for you to know. And also track like the sensory that's involved with that. Like when you walk into a room, what does it typically smell like? How does it feel? Things like that. So a good example of that is that one of the main settings that we kind of walk through in this book is that it is actually a bar. So what does a bar smell like? Well, it depends on the kind of bar. Like, is it a bar that allows smoking, non-smoking? Does it usually smell like wine or chocolate? Things like that. So establish. You know what I mean?
I do. I'm just trying to think of that chocolate bar. I guess if it were like a fondue bar, that would be.
Am I the only one who's been in most of the bars that they go into smells like pee? Like, I didn't hear you say pee at all, and that was my first thought.
Okay.
Smell like pee.
You know what? There are those bars.
Let me correct that. Right outside the bar smells like pee.
I'm sitting here trying to have a serious conversation. She be like, piss and bar.
I'm just saying.
Oh my gosh, you guys, you're killing me. Okay. Woo. Okay. All right. Yes. Good. Yes.
But so get your characters, your settings. If you got a magic system, if you feel like you have to flesh that out, flesh it out. That's pretty much it. Which I know sounds kind of weird for me, because as OCD as I am with my day-to-day schedule and everything else, like when it comes to my writing, it's like I'll figure it out as I go.
Jennifer asked a really good question. Will planning help you get through the grieving process and actually want to start doing things again? Having had that same experience, well, maybe not the same, but at least a deal where I really had to go through a serious grieving process and did not want to write or couldn't write, and then got back into it. Yeah, it does help, but you also have to be way more flexible. It does help a lot, because when you're like stuck in that grief, it's like really hard to kind of see that you're gonna even want to do anything tomorrow or next week or next. You just get like sunk in it. But thinking about what you would like to plan makes you think about the future, and that helps to get you through that process. You still have days where you're on the couch, eating cookie dough out of the tube and crying your eyes out, and you're not going to get anything done, and you just have to be gentle with yourself and try again tomorrow or next week. But yes, I think planning does help you get through that kind of through a grieving process.
For me personally, I lost someone that was really, really close to me, and it wasn't the planning itself, Like, you know, I wasn't so much feeling like, you know, I'm planning, i.e. I'm trying to get my priorities understand, you like really understand the demands of my world at the time. For me personally, I said, fuck that. And the only thing that I concentrated on was something that made me feel good. Like at the time, that's how I ended up getting my SEO certification, actually.
Yeah.
I was thinking about taking the classes, and at the time I was like, you know what? I've got the money to pay for this whole thing right now. And I started doing it, and, you know, I'm not to hashtag humble brag or anything, but I'm fairly smart. So it wasn't hard for me to take these classes, and it felt good. Getting the good grades, making progress in the class. I took on a project that only made me feel good.
Yeah.
And that did get me back in the habit of working my brain, you know, to accomplish goals. But I know damn good and well I would not have been successful if I tried to do that with any project that didn't make me feel good. I needed that feel good at the time. So
I think
that
that's
might be something to consider too. You know,
I think
focus
that's
on the projects feel good.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. That it has to be something that you really want. You really want to do, because that, like, getting the motion of it, like getting back into the rhythm of working on something that gives you joy, like then we want more of that, and then you do more and you feel better, and you do more and you feel better. So yeah, absolutely. I'm sorry that you're going through such a rough time, Jennifer. I feel really bad. We're sending you lots of love and hugs. Spence says, real, overplan myself so much that when I try and inevitably fail, I've still accomplished quite a bit. I've been treating my goals less like goals and more like options. I think that's a very, very good plan.
You know, that's actually a pretty good way to explain the goal setting system that works for me. Because between my life at any given time, I have 3 areas. I figured this out in the last quarter, actually, when I got my whole fancy notebook system together. But I have 3 areas. I have work, my personal, which includes my health and self-improvement, like more education and that sort of stuff. And then I have my home life. And between balancing all of those things, what I've found actually kind of works for me is, instead of saying, I want to get all this stuff done, I just make these detailed lists. Breaking them down into actionable steps definitely helps. But then, because I also have the luxury of doing this because I don't pay the bills, so I don't have that 9 to 5 demand, and I don't have kids. So like Carrow always says, be realistic with your goals. If you've got either one of those things, they're going to prioritize over everything else. I don't have those pressures, but I do run the household basically. And so I try to look at my to-do list as like, okay, what can I get done? You know, I've got options of things that I need to do. You know, is today a good day for a client option, or today's a good day for homesteading, or whatever. My goal system works more like options. These are things that I can do. What am I going to do today? It takes off so much pressure. Pressure.
One thing that I do, not to distractor, XYZ, but one thing that I do is every day I have a daily highlight, and the daily highlight is the thing that I have to get done. And that highlight, it has to get done in an hour.
Oh,
and
wow.
And Lisa, I'm going to explain why I make it an hour. So I give the one thing that I have to get done has to get done in an hour. And then I'll give myself 2 to 3 supplemental tasks that aren't as important, but definitely work towards my goals. So, and I think you and I, actually it was your last stream where we talked about goals and stuff like that. I think you called it all year syndrome or something like that.
I don't remember.
Do you want me to?
Yes, you explained it. You explained it. I sound like I was really smart, but yeah.
You were like on your A game. I was like, oh damn, I might as well just take some freaking notes right now on my phone. Like, oh my goodness. So the all year syndrome actually kind of pertains to what Lisa was talking about earlier when we started the stream, where she's like, oh my God, I'm in the last quarter of the year and I have nothing done. So now I have to get it done. Right. So it's I've heard some people call it all day syndrome, and I've heard them call it all year syndrome. You hear all year syndrome in like professional industries of whatever caliber, but basically it means that if you give yourself the due date of it has to get done today, it will take you all day to do it. right?
Mm-hmm.
Versus if you say, I have 1 hour to do it and I have to get it done right now. And I know that's a lot of commitment for all my pantsers out there, but if you have to get something done, then you have to basically say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it in an hour, and I'm going to do it this time.
Right.
So
It's an economic principle of any given task will expand or contract based on the amount of time you have to get it done. So yeah. I was
my
smart.
drink bit me.
Oh no, I was smart back then. All right, so
You're
Walter
smart now. What is wrong with both of you?
Walter, well, I think it was only like a month ago. It wasn't that bad. I'll tell you what's wrong with me. I am drinking.
You are both very intelligent people. Stop putting yourselves down. I will turn this into a self-love fest, and you will love it.
I'm good. I'm just saying, like, I have a little
You
bit
will
of
persevere.
You will like yourself, bitch.
I forgot to mention, I actually have alcohol tonight.
Yeah, all three of us. No wonder.
No cookies. I
No
have
wonder.
the Red's Wicked Apple. I was like,
very
oh,
nice.
snap, look at me fitting in.
Look at you. All right, so
one of us.
Wait, hold on. There we go. Okay, so Walter says, write it down, put a date on it, do small increments from now to the due date, develop a reward system during the small increments like ice cream and cake.
I have to say, though, reward system does not work with me. Sky, you probably all heard us joke about this. Sky there was a really good sale on this like drawing tablet thing that she wanted. And she had the money at the time. So she went ahead and bought it. And she set it as a reward for herself. And she did this like, I want to say like a whole year ago. And that box is still unopened. She has not published that project. So she has not reached her goal. She has not touched it. And I am so adverse to the reward system. I want to open her present. Like just knowing that it's a reward that she hasn't opened yet. I cannot set a reward for myself. I sure as shit can't have it within touching distance and not play with it. Not touch it, use it. Oh no, when I finish this, then I can play. No, I gotta do it and I gotta do it now. So reward system, I learned years ago, no. And even the shame, even the negative, even the whips don't work.
Oh no. Okay, Tamara says you're killing me with the plugs tonight,
You mean like the plug to Writer's Workshop where you talked about 2K to look,
what's the book we're reading this month coming up?
Yeah, what is it?
What's for October, right? There's a big book.
I've been loved. I have been sanctioned with popcorn and chopsticks, as everybody likes to tease me.
Oh.
Okay, I think we've gone off the rails. Okay, hold on. So yeah, Jennifer says you're doing more than you like. Lots and lots of love coming to Jennifer. No, sweetie, do not worry about this. Like, we're very glad you're here with us. We're very glad you're here with us.
That's just real life. Everybody is gonna hit that obstacle. And personally, my bestest friend in the whole wide world lost her dad like 5 days after her 16th birthday. And up until the person that I lost 3 years ago, I'd never lost anyone. He was my second dad. He was the only person I'd ever lost. And so I didn't know. You know what I mean? You don't know that pain until you live that pain. And then you're like, oh, that's what never, ever again pain feels like. Well, shit. Yeah. And you got to deal with it. It's not a downer. It's a life thing. It comes when it comes.
Hold on, wait a minute. So I'm sorry. I'm right behind. I'm sorry. Yes, that is absolutely true. That was very good advice. And I would stay on that vein, except I'm sorry. I accidentally saw Jennifer's comment, which was, Carrow, are there such things as BDSM bars, or would those be considered clubs? This is a serious question. BTW, love you, girl.
Way to broadcast my status as a kink, ma'am. They are typically referred to as clubs for city reasons. So they're not bars, because bars usually have like a certain code that they have to fix, but clubs have like space and regulations and other things. And that's all I'm going to get into about that.
Yeah,
but you know what? Since we're here, I have a book called Dress Up. That's out.
She does. She does. Jennifer says, I'm finding out that my brain was more X-rated than I ever thought it was. I want to write erotica. I never used to feel like writing it, but reading, yes, but not writing. Sweetie, if you want to write that, you write it. You
Yeah.
go right out.
Especially
I
like
know.
you mentioned the grief, like that sounds exactly to me like your brain's a little bit different, you're feeling differently. Fucking go for it.
Right? Plus, sex boosts your serotonin levels,
All the
whether
warm
you're
fuzzies.
having it or thinking about it. So,
Yeah.
you know what? That's what you want to write right now.
I like how y'all bring out my goofy laugh. I really appreciate you.
Yeah.
Oh,
All
before
right.
we get too far
but-
off the subject, I just want to
Yes,
say
ma'am.
something. I'm under the impression that the distinction between a bar and a club is two things. One, a bar can and sometimes does also offer food.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
ma'am.
Clubs typically do not offer food at all. And
Ah.
second,
So-
bars have more seating to standing area, and clubs have more standing to seating area because it's more for dancing and movement interaction. Bars are more for sitting down.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, because it does have to do with the space and what's basically served. I can tell you in bars, they do still serve things like fries and onion rings, whatever they can put in a fryer, right? But it also comes down to an insurance reason. So, like, basically the insurance that's at a bar is going to be different than the club, because clubs tend to get sued more than bars do, ironically. Because, so XYZ, things that you really didn't need to know, but they're out there.
But there they are. All right. So we have half 45 minutes to go. Good gracious.
Should we have a 10-minute work
We
period?
should have a 10-minute work
Okay.
period. Right.
This is what happens. This is what happens when the wine is gone.
This is what I'm trying to say. We're going to have a 10-minute work period. I'm going to try and figure out how to share my screen here. Dun, da, da. And yes, that's what we're going to do. Here we go. All right, everybody, let's get our stickers out and start planning.
10-minute stickers.
Yes, and markers, and you've got it. So, all right, so here we go. Here's our screen. Dun, da, da. All right, 10 minutes on the clock. Let's do a little planning, and then we'll be back with our next question, which I think is a fascinating one. We had Carrow sent me 6 questions. I sent her one. I think we'll probably get through 2, maybe 3 if we're lucky. All right, I'm drooling. Here we go. Time for the timer. Okay, here we go. Let's get rid of this banner. All right. So, when we left, we were talking about goal setting. What kind of goal setting works for you? This question I thought was a really good one. What makes a goal unachievable?
I think that was a you question.
No, it was number 2 on the Carrow list. Let me see. Yep, it was. All right. So let's take a look at this. So you guys answer with A2. Aphrodite's here. Hi. We love you. So Heidi comment. Heidi, hi, sweetie. How are you? Oh my gosh, I'm so glad to see you today. Ah, so Heidi, we're drinking and we're planning. I know this is something you can get behind. All right, so here we go. What is this? Okay, so I have a friend who listens to Haircut ASMR. I spent the night over there and he turned it on and I had nightmares about bugs with all the clicking going on. Oh, because like ugh, that would make me crazy. I use wave sounds when I sleep. I do too. I was freaking out hearing them in the background. It took me a minute to stop yelling at Alexa. Oh, I'm sorry. It was me. It was my little thing. There we go. Sorry about that. Aphrodite wants to know what Carrow is eating with her magical chopsticks. What's that?
Popcorn.
Popcorn.
Yeah, that's really good.
Do you not like to get your fingers dirty?
No. Sorry. No, I don't, because as soon as I touch, so my husband makes his popcorn, right? Like he makes it, and it's movie style popcorn. It really is. So he uses the butter, the salt, and everything, right? That gets on my hands. I touch my keyboard, and then I have a greasy keyboard, right?
Can't
I'm not a fan, you know. And the last thing I want is somebody to touch my keyboard and ask why it's slippery. Okay.
All right, that's a good point. That's an excellent point. You don't want greasy keyboard. Although maybe that's why you type so fast in our sprints. Did you ever think about that? It's the popcorn butter. She'd be like, oh, I got 800 words in 10 minutes.
And then when she gets going really, really fast, starts
I
to
know.
smoke a little bit as the butter burns off.
I know, right? I'm going to be like with my keyboard, like buttering it up like a big corn cob all over my keyboard so I can type as fast as
I
can.
feel like I deserve this somehow. I'm not sure how I'm going to do.
No, it's love. We do it out. It's love.
You know what? That's fair, because I'm still planning to put some airplane over like Amy's house.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. All right. So Athena has a good answer. Hold on. Our question was, what makes a goal unachievable? And Athena says, one that you really don't want to do. Yes. Set too small a time frame for. What is that? And is out of your bounds. I don't know if there's anything. I always think like, yes, I could become a rock star by next year if I just get my planner out. Yeah, that's interesting. It's interesting that you say that, but certainly good advice. I just made it. Hello, MM Ward. We're very glad to see you. Ooh, Heidi has good advice. What makes a goal unachievable is doubt. That's true. That's very true. Here we go. Oh, good gracious. Sorry, StreamYard just jumped. MM Ward is here. Hello. We're very glad to see you. Aphrodite says, I can't do waves. If I fell asleep to waves, I'd have nightmares all night.
Oh, that's terrible.
I know it is. When I was on book tour years ago, and I did like 28 cities, and I tried to stay in the same kind of hotel, Hampton Inn actually, which is not like your nicest hotel, but they have the same beds everywhere you went. Like they're good beds and they had good bedding, and always with the ocean sounds, so that even though I was sleeping in a different city every single night, it like helped to have some things that were the same every night. Popcorn butter is the key. Yes, that is true. All right. Alexa says, setting goals with the expectation that I will work at above average every day. I just can't sustain that, or I don't actually want to do it. Yes. Aphrodite, not sure. I think if you truly want to do it, you will find a way. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yep. True.
All right. Tamara says, I think the biggest issue that's usually in my way is myself. Feeling.
I also love you, and I think you're a wonderful person, and you're able to do many things.
That's true.
The only difference between you and Amy is that Amy tolerates my harassment, where you would tell me to fuck off. Otherwise, I would harass you as much as I do Amy.
Oh my gosh.
I feel so exposed. Like Amy has a high harassment tolerance.
Okay, you guys have, let me. So Heidi says book tour Chicago. This is a funny story. So I was on the tour. I was on tour for 15 minutes, and Heidi is my very, very, very good friend from Sarasota, and like on the same. We lived on the same block. Like we just. Yeah. Anyway, so Heidi and her awesome husband Jay were in Chicago at the same time I was going to Chicago for the tour. And we ate at my favorite tapas restaurant, which also I think happened to be Heidi's favorite tapas restaurant. And it was like a magical night. Even though we live on the same block and we like would eat breakfast or lunch like every week, we also got to do that in Chicago, which made it cooler. So
it's so much cooler. Setting, you know what? Say what you want, but like the atmosphere of where you are really does like change everything. Because like right now, I'm eating popcorn in my office, right? Is it the same as eating popcorn in the movie theater? No, it's completely different.
It's completely different because at the movie theater, they don't give you any chopsticks.
They don't, and they should, because you know what? I don't want this stuff on my fingers, okay?
Right. It's not as special. Okay. Nicole says, too big and not believing in yourself. Absolutely. Super true. Mary, setting goals for the sake of setting goals rather than for real practical reasons. Yeah. Right. What? So anybody do that? Set goals like, well, everybody else is setting goals. I should set some too.
Yeah, that kind of has and you and I are going to go off on a tangent on this. I absolutely know it. But that almost has like a FOMO feel to it, like fear of missing out, right? Like all my friends are setting goals. I should set goals too. And I think, and the danger that happens with that is if I really sat down and showed you guys how I planned goals, you would try and emulate that. And the danger of that is that I have a self-awareness of what works for me and what doesn't work for me. And the big difference is that I don't have kids, I don't have college, a whole bunch of other outside factors, right? So if somebody tried to take a system that works for me and tried to implement it into their life, they would have a hard time because, I said, it like my system is literally just designed for me,
right?
And it's always an evolving process and things like that. So circling back to, does anybody feel like they set goals for the sake of setting goals because everybody else is setting goals? Yeah, it goes back to FOMO. I fear of missing out. I'm setting goals because everybody else is setting goals, and I should do so as well. And my advice to you is that if you are not in the habit of making goals and you want to, only do them for you as you are right now, not as everybody else does. Because what's going to happen is if you try and set the same lofty goals that everybody else is doing right now, and you don't have that self-awareness or that habit or anything else, you really are setting yourself up for failure. And what's going to happen is at the end of like these 12 weeks, when you get to the end of it, you're going to feel terrible about yourself because you tried to push yourself further than you thought you could. And all you're going to see is, I didn't do this, I didn't do that, not. And that's not really good for your brain or your heart.
Well, you need that motivation of being on a journey or having a goal that's something that you want to do. So if you're kind of working towards other people's goals or some sort of facsimile of that, you're not going to get all of the normal sort of juice and benefits that you would get from working towards achieving something that's really important to you. I have to say, Athena says, you said tapas. I heard topless. I'm sorry. Aphrodite apparently also heard topless. So, yeah. Tapas. Little tiny
Still got erotica on the brain.
No. You know what? Miss Heidi Godman would never be in a topless bar. She's... No. No. But... I do know for a fact she likes little tiny foods. So there you go. All right. Aphrodite says she is good at setting and reaching goals. Knock on wood. I'll do it right here. Quarter two. I'm such a dork. Question 2. The goal is too vague. The goal is too massive. The goal isn't actually aligned with my long-term priorities. Those are all reasons that you don't like that a goal's not a good goal for you. Or your spirit, not reaching a goal can be crushing. Absolutely true. Can't post some comments. I don't know what this is. Okay, so yeah, all right, here we go. Athena says she lives in the gutter. Lewd is my brain. I think it's the liquor. I'm just gonna go out on a limb. I'm gonna say it's the liquor tonight. So anyway, yeah, all right. So we have another question here. Let's see if I can pull it up. I probably cannot. Here we go. Hold on, I had a thing right here. So describe the difference between a goal and a task, which I will have to put on a question banner. Well, you guys can think about it. This is going to be our Q3. What is the difference between a goal and a task for you? All right, there we go.
Personally, it's the difference between a project and something that I can go do. A task is something I can go do. A goal is going to have a project level of intricacy and steps and tasks to get you to that point.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Can I explain why I asked that question?
Yes, please.
Okay, so the reason I asked that question is because a lot of times when people get goals for themselves, what they do isn't actually a goal. They give themselves a to-do list, right? Like an example is like, I will post 1 video a week, right? So what you did was you actually put in a task. You didn't put in a goal. So what is the goal for you putting out 1 video a week? And the reason I'm saying that is because I'm trying to post 1 video a week for the rest of the quarter, because I know I've been absolutely terrible about it. So what is the goal behind the 1 video a week? The goal is that you are either trying to expand your reach your audience, like whatever. In my case, it's trying to reconnect to my audience, because I know I've been very neglectful. I feel really bad about it. So I want to reconnect to my audience, but I also understand that I don't have the ability to post 3 videos a week like I did back in 2020. So I'm trying to give myself 1 video a week and see what happens. So maybe maybe JC will get what she asked for with the vlogs, because once I get in the habit of making my 1 videos a week, I can move into doing vlogs and sharing all that stuff. So XYZ, blah, blah, blah.
XYZ, blah, blah, blah. Well, I think the difference too is what you were just saying is the why. Why do I want to post a video a week, right? Why is that important? And that reason that you have of, well, I want to reconnect with my audience, or I want to build an audience for my books, or I want to do this or that. Like that's your why. But a lot of times we just sort of get stuck on those tasks. All right. So Spence says, holy crap, I've never thought about that. And now I need to reevaluate everything.
I think you just said something really good too, that I need to reach my goal. Like, to me, like I said, a goal is more of like a project. A task is something that you can do today. And a goal is something that will take time. Like it.
I think about the tasks.
I lost what I was about to say. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I think about the tasks as the steps that you have to do in order to achieve your goal. So, and that actually works when you think about.
Oh, I remember what I was going to say. I'm sorry.
Oh, good. Okay, no.
Goals are also, to me, things that build in the big picture. A task is not necessarily going to build a big picture. You know, your goals are things that build the big picture, like your building your career, building your home, building whatever. Those are things that will expand your life, and they take a lot of little moving parts to go into them. A task is something that you do it because it needs to get done.
All right. So Alexa says, goal, that is the outcome this is the outcome that you want to achieve. Task, this is the baby steps you take to get there. That is my approach, Alexa. That's what Athena says. I miss your videos, Carrow. Everybody does. Heidi says, I'm in a different business, but goal for me is writing an article for the day. A task is setting up the interview. Yeah. All right. Athena says, yes, that's a goal of mine. I just fall off the face of the earth from time to time. There's been a lot of that happening this year. A whole lot of that happening.
I'm starting to suspect it's not us falling off the face of the earth. I think it's the face falling off of the earth.
I think
we're all
that's
just
true.
like, hold on, I got to get my footing again here. Hold the fuck up.
Yeah, I
That's
think
what it feels like for the last
yes.
oof.
It just drops out from under us. Yes,
Right?
It does feel like that.
The turtle slip.
Gravity's been a little iffy this year. All right, so M.M. Ward says, what makes a goal unachievable? Life happens, yes. And as a writer and a mom and a farmer, I must prioritize, and writing always goes to the bottom of the hierarchy.
Yeah, I'm not a mom, but I do run the household, and there's homestead stuff to do, and it's just like,
yeah,
I can work on this class, or I can work on this writing project, or I can make sure that all of the animals have water so they don't dehydrate and die. Like, I've got a choice to make here.
And children also need to not dehydrate and die. So yeah. All right. Aphrodite says tasks are all the little jobs and steps you list in order to reach your goal. Very good. Difference between a goal and a task. A goal is a want to do and a task is a must do. Also, goals are usually much larger than tasks.
Okay. Yeah, there you go. I like that. That summary.
Aphrodite first writes down the goal, then lists all the things I have to do to reach it. Those are my tasks. And Spence says, by everything, I think I just need to change my weekly goals section to weekly tasks. In my Bujo, that seems small, but holy actual crap, that changed my brain. Carrow is known to do that.
Yeah, Carrow was actually the one that did that for me. Like, oh man, I want to say like 2 years ago. It wasn't too far into our friendship when I started revealing, like, yeah, I got a lot going on. Carrow was kind of like, I can help with that. Here's some advice. And then she tentatively set up the railroad that she now rides me on. And that's something she taught me a long time ago. So
Carrow will do that because she's just that awesome.
I just want you to be the best you that you can be. Even if you don't see it, I fucking see it.
She sees it. All right. So Athena says, I think the earth is trying to shake us off and we're really stubborn. I think you're right. And oh my God, Emma Ward says everything needs to hydrate or they will dehydrate. That's terrible and
I'm gonna
hilarious.
start singing songs for Zydrate Anatomy now. That just sounds like lyrics out
at
of
the same
movie.
time. So Aphrodite says my Kanban board lists all the tasks under each goal. I have my big goals on the Kanban board, but I have been trying to figure out a way to because we were talking about Sarah Cannon earlier. She does put like all her little tasks under there, which I think on like then you have about 1,000 more Post-it notes to get down to the done section. So that's nice. I don't know if I can do that because I live in Florida where it's humid and I feel like I just end up with a mountain of Post-it notes on my floor. So I
think it really depends on you as a person, what works for you, because not to talk about Tamara and Project Author too, but one of the things I do talk about in my video is that what works for me really doesn't work for you.
Right.
And you kind of have to go to that Bruce Lee phrasing of like, discard what doesn't work and keep what works, right? So like I can sit here and I can have a conversation with you or anybody here about like, it's like, okay, we'll do this and it will work. And you'd be like, but I have kids or I have college or, I think we've had this conversation like how many times?
Yeah, that's okay. Okay. Yes, that's exactly true. So Heidi has a good question. Oop, there we go. What is a Kanban board?
Oh, I know. So a Kanban board actually came from Japan, from the oh my God, what's
like
that car?
Mitsubishi?
No, not Mitsubishi. It's the one that starts with T.
Toyota.
Toyota. Thank you. So it came from the Toyota company, and basically what they did was they had 3 columns, and it was not starting, finished. It was like literally 3 columns. So it was like basically their way to come in and oversee like how a project was getting done.
Right.
And where it was in the phrase. Now, naturally, as A-type personalities, we're like, well, we can't just have 3 columns. We have to have like 50 columns. But a Kanban board is basically whatever your progression system is to go from start to finish. So in the case of like Toyota, it was kind of like, manufacture car, put car together, sell car, right?
Right.
As authors, it might be kind of like, idea, concept, drafting, self-editing, editor process, right? Like I'm really like summarizing that like really, really tiny.
Yeah. So for me, it's like some people do them horizontally, some people do them vertically. Vertically actually works really well for me because I like the progression. So my 3 boxes on my Kanban board, which I just changed, I was going to try and like move I don't know if I can do this. Let's see. Is it going to work? Is it going to work? Is it going to work? Okay, kind of. All right. So here at the top, you can see to do and then doing.
Wow, you used your whole door.
I did. And the funny thing is I just did, like I was just working on quarterly goals today because usually that is a lot more full. And so what happens is you to go, okay, I'm going to do all these goals for the quarter. I want to finish this book that I'm working on. I want to, let's say, redesign my website. Let's say, okay, so you have all these goals that you want to complete in a certain amount of time for the year, for the quarter, whatever. So you put all those, for me, put those all in the to-do section up at the top. And then as I begin to work on them, I move them down to the doing section. So I have some goals in to do, some in the doing. And then once I've completed it, it goes down in the done. And it's so to do, doing, done. And it feels so good to get all those out of the to do and put them in the doing and then move them down to the done. Like it feels really good. So that's so it's this basic system where again, it was originally made for like manufacturing, but it works really well for creative projects because there's so many moving parts. So there you go. All right.
And I actually have a little bit of a spin on that with a video that I've remembered to bring up. So I popped the link in the private chat. Maybe Carrow can drop it in the comments.
Yeah.
It is a YouTube video to this channel called The Plant-Based Bride. And she calls it the dynamic Kanban board. And
I like her.
She shows you. Yeah,
I love her. Yeah, I love her.
Yeah,
okay,
you showed me.
Sorry.
You showed me her rolling weekly journal, and it got me turned on to her. Actually,
it's so good. So
yeah, those are the 2 things that I'm doing now. The dynamic Kanban, which basically shows you how to set it up inside your notebook. For me, I don't have the space to actually put up the index cards, even though that would benefit me. I don't have the space, so instead, what I have is the little. They're like sticky tabs, and they're a little bit bigger than a normal tab. They're made to look like dividers so that you could use those instead. And that's what I write my goals on. And those are what I move on the page in the notebook from the to-do to the doing to the done section. And then when they're done, I put them over on my monthly spread. And, I accomplished this month, and it gives me an excuse to use more tabs. And, but I got it from this video, and it's awesome for anybody who likes the visualness of the Kanban, being actually able to see this variety of projects and in comparison to each other, basically.
Yeah.
But you don't have the space or the ability to put it up. Get yourself some sticky tabs, and you can actually recreate that in your journal, in your bullet planner.
I love that. I love that idea.
Carrow and Sky were laughing at me so much because I found that video and I was like, OMG. Like I freaked out. And Sky
how can I laugh at you when I was the one that sent it to you?
No, you sent me the rolling weekly one. I found the dynamic one by myself.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, but anyway, Sky and Carrow got a laugh at it because it blew my mind, and they were both like, "We've been doing this. We've showed you this before."
I mean,
and then Sky showed me pictures where she showed it to me before. And I was like, don't take this from me. I just figured it out.
All right. So Heidi says, I totally do this every month for my publication. I thought it was just me. Thanks for the explanation. P.S. Of course, me too. Of course. That's how Heidi and I met. We're like, me too. All right. So Alexa says, Heidi, I have a couple pictures of mine on my Insta. I was actually looking to see if I could find mine. I think that mine are like way back on my Instagram, but thank goodness for the turny computer. So yeah, we should check that. I'll pull that up if I have a chance before we go, so everybody can see your awesome.
Yeah,
Did you find it?
I was about to tell you I love you and everything, but we only have 8 minutes left.
I know, you know how I am. Aphrodite says there's so many videos on it. I use it for my life. Yes. Aphrodite does hers by quarter, color coded based on gold. Oh, you are a heart breathing fan, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
I got to color code my tabs too. It's pretty awesome.
I know. I
Well
love
done.
it. I really love the idea of the Kanban board, but because my office is on a corner with windows, I did not have any free space to put it. So my door was my only place. And I literally got a guy on Etsy to I picked out a font and he carved these beautiful letters, I don't know, with like a laser cutter or something. These beautiful letters. So now it matches my office. All right. Aphrodite, love that you do it by quarter. That's why mine only had like a few little pieces of paper on it, because I was stripping off for my quarter goals. Heather's here. Hello, Heather. I'm very glad. All right. Very glad to see you. Athena says a goal is what you're getting to, and a task are the things you need to get to the goal. Yes. Very good. All right. So I put up the YouTube I should have said what it was, at 9:51 in the chat. That's the one from Amy. Mary says Sarah Cannon recently made her Kanban board portable. She set up 3 file folders, one for each project, which told her to do, and done, and a small acrylic board holds her doing. That woman is like a genius. If there were a Nobel Prize for planning, I think we all know who it would go to. Well, it'd be a tough competition.
Just go to her.
Between Carrow and Sarah.
No, go to her, because I go to her.
All right. Walter has a different take. Walter says goal and a task, one and the same. A goal cannot be attained without a task. True. You can't have a task without a goal, because the nature of the task is to be done even when started without the intent to finish. I think sometimes we do get stuck with tasks that do not belong to a goal, and that we are sort of like hamster wheeling. It feels like we're making progress, but we're not going anywhere. Mm-hmm. All right. Spence says the idea of having a Kanban board in my bullet journal. Mind blowing.
Yeah, because you can do it with sticky notes, you can do it with tabs, and I was actually doing that for a little bit, but then after a while, I was like, it came down to a money issue, because I had to be really frugal at some point this year. So I was like, why am I spending money on sticky notes when I can just put it on Google Keep? I don't know.
Yeah,
and I already have several thousand sticky notes, so I don't have to add any expense to start using them.
I have lots of sticky notes, but I tend to get bigger ones. And I will say I like the idea of doing it digitally, even though I really do love I love this for big goals, but I could not fathom doing what Sarah does, where she puts 8,000 sticky notes of all her tasks on her Kanban board, because I just the humidity. I would every day walk into a slush of sticky notes.
Yeah, that was actually something I ran into, because you guys can't see it, but I've got like a part of the wall over here that I tried to put sticky notes on, and I would come in every morning, they'd be all over the floor, and I was just, I was so disheartened, because I was like, I have to put them back, and it's not a cork board, so I can't just pin them in there.
Yeah, well, and every house in Florida has some kind of like orange peel plaster on the walls, so even that makes it hard to stick. Yeah. All right, so MM Ward says my keyboard has color-coded posties. Say that 3 times fast. On a mirror coded by type of project, and ink color coded by due date. You are a badass.
I saw some chick on TikTok who wrote her goals in dry erase marker on her mirror, on her bathroom mirror across the top, so that she could write out basically stuff she had to get done this week, so she could see it and check it off, or show like she's making progress.
That idea.
Yeah, I was like, that's really cool. And I would have to clean it about 17 seconds after I wrote it up there. I wouldn't be able to stand the dirty mirror.
No, I love that idea. Aphrodite, don't you like that whole like great minds think alike thing, when you have an idea independently of someone else and you've come up with something really similar. I love when that happens. Spence says, I feel so very inspired, but also dumb for not thinking about it before. We only know what we know. Heather,
that was me with the sticky tabs.
It was the greatest. I so needed to be with other authors. The speakers were like incredible. I had such an amazing experience. I came back like so inspired and on fire, and yeah. So yes. All right. Yeah, right. That's the best time to get them for sure. My Kanban board is my wall. I don't use Post-its. I use cards. That's smart.
That is smart.
I brought some over today. I use these for plotting out scenes because I like to spread them out. But I did get some that don't have like a little hole punch in them. I was going to try and use those because I have some book projects this year. I have got to get, like, I have several launches and I haven't done like an indie launch before. So I'm trying to figure out like what would I do? What do I not do? So we're going to talk about that soon. Not today, but soon. All right, Aphrodite. There we go. And then where it says, I live on the Colorado prairie. What is this humidity thing you speak of? Yes, very good. Oh, I'm so glad you had a good time at your conference. That's awesome. All right, so it is 9:58, and as all of you know, the Boozy Planner-o-rama ends at 10. I have one more drink left. Can we do like a little cheers? Wait, hold on.
Yeah, we can't because I don't have anything left, but I'm ready.
But we'll clink. Okay.
I'll just
Clink.
shake mine and salute.
Clink down for you. There you go. Okay. So thank you guys. I'm so glad. I did more talking than planning this time, but I will say I planned a lot. I spent a good chunk of my day today planning. So, so I have I'm still working on my task list, which I actually did a pretty good job of. One of them is off the page completely. So,
Nice.
all right. How did you guys all do? Let us know really fast. Did you get some planning done? Was the conversation helpful? And let us know if there's anything that you want to talk about next time we do the next Boozy Planner-o-rama. Speaking of which, we need a date. Let's all check our handy planners.
I was about to say that seems pretty typical for us.
I know, right? Okay, here we go. Hold on, we're going to November.
I already know that the last Sunday of the month is out of order for you because that's October 31st. So what about November 7th?
November 7th is perfect. All right. So as you guys know, we switch channels every other time. And so the next Boozy Planner-o-rama will be 8 p.m. Eastern time over on Carrow's channel on Sunday, the 7th of November. Boozy Planner-o-rama. All right. It's officially in the calendar on Carrow's channel. All right. Depending on how early I send her the artwork, it will probably be up a lot faster than mine is. So you guys know how I am.
So let's see. So on the 7th, Boozy Planner-o-rama hosting on November 5th. Let's see. Remind task. So remind Lisa stream.
Thank you, Carrow. I heart you. Okay, Judy, thank you so much for being here. Thank you, Aphrodite. You stay safe too. And then Ward, we moved back to Wednesday. We're at our old time for our regular writing sprints, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern time on Wednesdays, right here on my channel. So I hope you guys can make it on that day. I'm sorry. I know we switched to Mondays because we're working on trying to keep Carrow.
No, yeah, she was trying to keep me on, and then my schedule got flexed. Yeah, we're back to Wednesdays. Like, just go.
Yeah, we're back to Wednesdays. That's we have like some people who couldn't travel to Mondays. JC, and so right, no, I missed her. She was, she's part of our group. So all right. I wasn't saying it like she couldn't make it. I was saying it like we missed her, and that was one of the first things I thought of when we decided to come back. It was like, oh yay, we'll have JC again. Okay, Athena, thank you very much. You guys are awesome. Mary, thank you so much. Tamara is ready to upload my draft to Story Origin so my betas can get it.
Hell yeah!
Yay! That's very nice. MM Ward says I'd vote for the 24th so we could have a pre-Halloween liquor and stickers. But I really am greedy for streams from you're so sweet. Oh my gosh, you're so sweet. Which huge street? Wait, hold on. MM Ward wants to know, Tamara, so when is the huge stream? Tamara says, which huge stream? We haven't decided on the 24-hour stream. But for Project AuthorTube, we'll be doing the longer stream on Halloween.
Do I have to wear like face paint again? Like I did last year?
Yes, you do. I'm not even on it, but I'm like, yes, you do.
I like how she's like, yes, you have to do the thing. I'm not Tamara Woods, but you have to do this thing.
I'm just saying, more people will come if you're wearing face paint. Heidi, I love you too. We have to get together, honey. Okay, so Alexa, thank you so much for being here. 24. Ooh, corset again, Carrow. Super fancy.
No, because I need to breathe.
Right, that is important. It's harder, to function when you can't breathe. It's just like that thing we talked about earlier with water. Also important. You guys are awesome. We should do our outros really fast because now it's 10:03 and people have to.
Let me do mine fast because I'm really good at this. Ready?
Okay, good. Yeah.
All right, cool. My name is Carrow Woods. I wrote this book. Carrow Woods?
Wow.
Oh, you're so good at this.
Wow. Okay, hi. My name is Carol Brown, and I wrote those books over there. I also apparently really love Tamara, and we should just have some kind of like strange child together. Anyway, that's me. Thanks for having me. I finished this entire bottle of wine and planned out my quarter four, which will probably make no sense to me tomorrow. So let's just watch that happen.
So true. Amy, would you say goodbye to our fine friends?
Yes, I'm Amy Awesome Buddy. Most of you know who I am. I'm friends with the ladies on the screen, so I get invited. So thank you for having me. I didn't finish making out my goals, but I did finish all of my planner templates and everything. So I did get planner stuff done. So thank you for having me. I look forward to next time.
Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so glad you are here. Both of you. I love you guys to death. All right, here we go. Thank you. I'm Lisa Daly. I write romantic comedies and nonfiction books, one of which I'm going to finish this week, maybe on the stream. Woo,
hell yeah.
Right? I'm going to try very hard to make that happen. Now that I've said it out loud, I'm pretty excited about it. Anyway, so thanks so much for being here. We will be next month on Carrow's channel, and then the month after that, we'll be back here on mine. So anyway, you guys are awesome. Thanks so much for being with us, and we will see you next time. Bye.